Games are easy. Studying is hard. Want to make the hard things seem easy? How about going on a media fast in the near future? Hello everybody, this is clinical hypnotist Roger Simpson at the Flow Center in Dallas. You can reach us at theflowcenter.com or at hypnosisoverthephone.com or at my private number 214-699-6627. I'm sure that most of you can sit down with your smartphone, your tablet or laptop for 2 or 3 hours on social media, or playing games or surfing the net, watching videos. But you would have a hard time spending that much time reading a textbook, a nonfiction book, or its PDF or ebook equivalent. The first is entertainment, and the time dilates. Those 3 hours pass in what seems to be about 10 or 20 minutes. The opposite's true with the nonfiction book. 20 minutes seems like 3 hours. Well, why is that? Well, in spite of the fact that studying, building a business, doing the yard, cleaning the closet, or the attic will greatly benefit you in the long run, you still muchly prefer to play the video games, watch TV while eating junk food, one of my personal favorites, and surfing social media. One is easy, the other's hard. Yet some people have no problem doing the hard. Some people do, and they actually even enjoy doing the hard things. Many personally developed people of astounding greatness are up at 4 a.m. every morning doing their first tweet storm of the day before anyone in the press even thinks about rolling out of bed. Their days are filled with meeting after meeting after meeting, and they never go to bed before midnight. They must really enjoy it, because who'd want to work that many hours, taking on that much responsibility and constant danger of saying a stray word or phrase or doing something that might blow up their entire career? And that's when they're having a good day. Why would they do that when they could be enjoying a multi-million-dollar or even a multi-billion-dollar retirement? Why would they do that if they didn't love the work? So here's the question. Is there a way to make difficult things seem easy or easier? To make the hard things a bit more enjoyable? And yes, there is, and that is to increase the level of the brain chemical dopamine for the hard tasks. God knows you don't need to increase that stuff for the easy stuff, the entertaining stuff. Dopamine is a brain chemical that scientists have associated with pleasure. But really, it's the brain chemical that gives us desire and motivation. When you desire to do something, when you're motivated to do it, it's the dopamine that's actually responsible for that feeling in your brain. You've probably heard about the experiments where scientists inserted electrodes in the pleasure centers of the brains of rats and put a button in their cage that triggers that electrode. The rats would just push that button over and over until they fell over from exhaustion, or the electricity burned out their pleasure center. The rats were actually stimulating a dopamine charge every time the current was applied. Well, those rats with the burned out pleasure center, they'd use in the opposite experiment that most people don't hear about. And that's where the scientists have blocked the dopamine pleasure fix in another group of rats. And the rats didn't feel motivated to eat, to drink, to have sex, or do anything but lay around in the cage. If they actually put food or water in their mouths, well, they would chew and swallow it, but they wouldn't even get up to go over to the food and water dispensers just a few inches away. That kind of reminds me of a government program or two. I wonder if those guys in the government read those scientists' findings with the rats, huh? Oh, so dopamine is a brain drug that triggers desire, triggers motivation. The takeaway is that it is a drug where need higher and more frequent doses to give you the same kick. And how do you make the hard things seem more interesting? Or how do you get motivated to do the hard thing instead of fiddling around on social media, for instance? Yeah, it's the same way you get a life if you're on cocaine or alcohol, which I hope you're not. You quit. You go through withdrawal, and then the hard things, they don't seem so hard. How do you withdraw from video games and social media? TV? Well, first you pick a week. And if you can't handle that, try 3 days. Or just a day. Or just start with an hour. You got to start somewhere. Or some win. You turn off your phone and you park it in a drawer. You disconnect your TV from the AC wall socket so that it would take a few minutes for it to turn back on, to reboot. Come back on should you have a moment of weakness. Use that delete button. Oh, and you don't use your computer at all, by the way. By the way, while we're on by the ways, let your friends know what you're up to before you disconnect. They might have watched an episode or two of Bones, and the detectives might come knocking on your door to see if you're still alive. Just doing our jobs, ma'am. Then you go through your days without any of those things that you are addicted to. You exercise, you do yoga, or you take time to cook your meals from scratch. Good for you. Converse with other people, face to face. If you dare, don't dine alone. You get a real pen and a real notebook, and you journal. You write down how you're feeling, how you're experiencing this media fast, what your experiences are, what your feelings are. Any thoughts or ideas or inspirations that come to you, write them down. Maybe take out your journal and spend a day writing down what you see as your perfect day and your future where you've had outrageous success and you're at your perfect weight and fitness, your perfect house. You can describe that, or your perfect career, your perfect life, your retirement if money was no object. Write some goals down, or even develop a mission statement of your life. Meditate, pray, think about the 7 infinite qualities of God. Read a spiritual or a personal development book, or the Bible if you dare. Anyway, this will withdraw you from the dopamine, and simple things, even hard things, will get more desirable to do. And as a maintenance plan, some people do a media fast 1 day a week. Well, that almost sounds like the Sabbath. But that could just be my imagination running away with me. This is Roger Simpson at the Flow Center in Dallas. And you can reach us at theflowcenter.com or at hypnosisoverthephone.com or at my private number, 214-699-6627. Just my imagination running away with me.